FLOSSTUBE, welcome to my channel. My name is Lynn and I'm the Lancashire Stitcher. Today is Monday the 16th of December 2024 and this is FLOSSTUBE 111. If you're new here, welcome. This is a channel mainly about cross stitch, but I do include other crafts. I talk about walks and travels I've been on recently, and I also talk about the books I've read or listened to recently. So if you're returning, welcome back. It's lovely to be chatting with you all again. I've got quite a bit of stitching to show you this time. I did have a weekend in Slough last weekend, which I'll talk about later. And I went on the Yorkshire Stitching Day on Saturday, so yeah, I've got a bit to show you. I've got my dragon on my lap again, so hopefully he's not going to fall off there. It's keeping me nice and warm. I do have a finish to start with. I'm really happy I got this finished. Yeah, I'll start. It's 10 to 6 in the evening. It's pitch black outside. I've got my ring light on, the hall light's on, so hopefully there's enough light for us. We'll see how it is when I edit. So my finish is, where are we going? That way. It's When Life is Done by Silver Creek Samplers. As you can see, I did it in memory of my dad. I finished it the other day. I'm so happy it's finished. If you're not sure what it says, I love you just as much today as when you died and flew away. I'll not be sad nor shed a tear. Your memories will linger near. We'll meet again when life is done and soar away beyond the sun. And then on the gravestone it says Dad, and then 1949, which is the year he was born, to 2019 is the year he died. So yeah. The only change I made was to the birds. On the chart they're cardinals, and I just changed them into little robins just by changing the colour. There we go. So that's my finish. So yeah. Yeah, while I remember, I'll talk about my nails. I had Christmas nails done. So on the index finger I've got little Christmas hats, Santa hats, and then on my ring fingers I've got some stripes, and then the others are just red glittery. Where are we? This one. Yeah, this one has got a brighter red at the top and then there's glittery red at the bottom. But yeah, they're only on until Saturday. I've only got them for 2 weeks because I was late last time getting my nails done. So these are only on for 2 weeks, and then on Saturday I'll be having new polish put on for New Year. So yeah. Right, so let's get on with my whips. So the first one is my dragon. I'll get this cover. There we go. So why am I going on the wrong side today? Dragon Field Notes by UnconventionalXStitch, Unconventional Cross Stitch. Artwork by Hope Christopherson. I do try and stitch on this in the morning when my husband goes to work for an hour. It's not going to get stitched on much over Christmas because he's got quite a bit of time off over Christmas, just with the way Christmas is set out. And here we go. There's my dragon. So yeah, not much stitched on it, but I do get some progress on it. It's stitched on 25 count Easy Guide by Zweigart using the Cold 4 DMC threads. It's stitched 1/1 full cross. So yeah, really impressive. Just love the detail in it. When I'm stitching on it, you just don't see that detail. It's only when I show it on my video and I think, oh yeah, look at that. So yeah, there we go. So that's my dragon, and I can put him down now. There we go. Right, my next whip is got cracking my throat today. Spring by the Sea by Jeannette Douglas Designs. Stitching this as part of a stitch along with several other people. We have a Facebook group called Seasons by the Sea, Sal. So yeah, we're all stitching the whole piece. So that's that one. And I'm stitching this on, I'm just hoping nothing falls off there. I'm stitching it on 32 count Vintage Sky Blue. by Zweigart. And that is my progress. So I've finished the C here, and then I've done this wavy pattern around there. I just stitch on this when I have some time to do it. So yeah, it's that one. Just stays in the Q-snap, and then it's ready for me to just pull out and stitch on it when I have time. Right, this next one, everything's sliding. It's the thing with having things in Q-snaps and some things not in Q-snaps, everything starts moving. Stay. Right, this next one, there's a bit of a story to it. This is Snowy Owl Snowman by Mill Hill and Jim Shaw. I took this away with me to Slough, thinking, well, I'm on a train for 2.5 hours going to London, or roughly that time. I'll take it with me to stitch on it. But on the way down, I didn't get chance to stitch on it because it was too dark. It was daylight, so the lights in the coach in the train weren't on, and I was sat where there wasn't much of a window, so I didn't do it. But then I tried stitching on it at Slough, and I realised that there was a mistake. Yeah, I've got it the right way. So you can see this cream colour here. I did have it all the way around the bottom, but then when I started stitching on it, when I was in Slough, yeah, there's some blue thread on the back, so it's not finished yet. When I started stitching on it in Slough, I realised there was something wrong, and I finally worked out it was up here. You can see where the cream stops there. So I had to unpick or frog all of it and some of the blue from down here that I'd done as well. And so I had to unpick it all, and then I tried stitching it again. Did some more white of the cream again, and then on the train home, I thought, right, I'm going to get it out because the lights were on. It was dark outside, so the lights in the train were on, and I pulled it out and I started stitching, and I realised it was still wrong. There was still something wrong, so I'd obviously done a mistake again, and it was back at this point here. So basically I had to unpick the whole stuff again, the whole cream that I'd done, and then I just put it away. I thought, I can't be doing with it. I'm putting it away. And then the day when I went back to work, I took it with me to work, because when I start work early, I get to work early and I go into the staff room for half an hour. And usually I'll read a book for half an hour, but I took this instead. I thought I need to do some on this, and then I know it's okay. So basically I did this bit here, and I did a bit over here as well, just to put some in and knowing that it's okay. And I'm not going to do the cream now until I actually fill in the bottom. I'm thinking I'm going to go up first and then do the bottom last. So that is my progress or lack of on Snowy Owl Snowman. So yeah, but yeah, it's just sorry if you got a bang then when I hit the microphone, but yeah, I had to just sort it out. Otherwise it'd have got put away and I wouldn't touch it again for a while. So yeah. Right, next one is the Drawn Thread, the Autumn Garden. I bought this as a kit from the Nimble Thimble. Got everything, the fabric, the threads, everything you need to do it. So yeah. This is my seasons piece in my rotation. I forgot to say, When Life Is Done is my words piece in my rotation, and when I've shown all my whips, I'm going to show the two pieces that are going to fill my Fancy Lady and the words categories in my rotation. So yeah, so this is my progress on Autumn Garden. So I've done this side, I did this pumpkin, I've done these flowers here, and the actual flowers aren't cross stitched, they're a speciality stitch. And then I've done the bird there, and then he's holding a chrysanthemum, so I did that as well. So basically I'm doing this side, and then when this side's finished, I'm going to go back to this side of the house and fill in the leaves and things like there are over here, and then go that way. So yeah. So that's Autumn Garden. And then there's words underneath saying what the flowers are and things. So yeah, there we go. I think that's summer khaki, but I might be wrong. I can't remember what the fabric was. There we go. Right, next one is My Christmas List by Silver Creek Samplers. This is my holidays celebrations piece in my rotation. I don't know what this fabric is. It's pole stitches, it's even weave, and that's as much as I know. I think it's 32 count, but let's go like that, and there we go. So we've got down to time for bed. Okay, so let's go down to time for bed. So what I did some of this in slow. Ooh. So I stitched the stockings here, and then I did time for bed. I did some of it at home when I got home from slow, but I did stitch on it in slow. So there we go. This is stitched using the Call 4 DMCs. And the only change I've made to this is woolen sweaters. I put another L for the English spelling of woolen. We have double L, and that's the only change I've done to this so far. Hopefully I'll get this finished soon. Won't be before Christmas, obviously, but yeah, it'll be finished soon. And then my next whip is Raspberries with Butterfly by Luca-S. This is a full kit, and I'm using everything from the kit. And every time I pull this out, I don't know why, I just don't get much time to stitch on it. So it just gets, it's this turn when I'm at my busiest. And all I've got done is, where we're going, this side, I managed to fill in this bit over here, and then a bit down here. So yeah, that's as much as I've got done on that. So hopefully the next time it comes up in the rotation, I'll get some time to stitch on it. Just I don't know what it is, why it always gets pulled at that busy time. And then my last whip is QS Spirit of Winter Robin by Heaven and Earth Designs, artwork by Ciro Marchetti. Not sure if that's right, but that's how I say it. So yeah, I love this design. I started it in the middle because it's a round design, and that is my progress. So we've now got the leg starting to appear, and then I filled in some of this over here, which is just the sky. So yeah, this is 25 count Easy Guide by DMC. So yeah, happy with that. So there are all my whips that I've been working on. So I said I'm going to show you what, stay there, do not fall off. I was going to show you what I'm going to use for my Fancy Lady and Words pieces. And I told you the last time, when I filmed last time, that I'm going to do Royal Holiday for my Fancy Lady. Let's get her folded up. So, here is, let's fold her over at the top of it. Right, here is Royal Holiday as she is at the moment. She's being stitched on 32 count Dusky Rose Murano Lugana by Pole Stitches, using all the Call 4 threads. And yeah, I just need to do some work on her and get her finished, so that's why she's my next Fancy Lady. So there she is. Yeah, so she's going to be my Fancy Lady. I think I'm going to be, yeah, I'm on my wild card now, which is Simple Gifts Christmas. Today, tomorrow, Wednesday. So she'll be stitched on from Thursday because I'm back to Fancy Lady. And then my words piece. Royal Holidays are Mirabilia, I think. I keep forgetting to say what they are. My words piece is going to be I Am a Stitcher by Cherrywood Design Studio. And all I've got to do is that cream coloured flower in the background. I need to finish that, and then it's finished. All the words are actually done. I just need to finish off that cream. I know it's lamb's wool, the name of the thread. I can't remember who the dyer is. But yeah, it says, my need to be creative, to see the design come to life, watch colours unfold on linen, never a day complete without needle and thread, a connection to the past, a gift for the future, a talent no one can take from me, I am a stitcher. And again, I made a change on this one. Colours, watch colours unfold on linen. I changed colours to the English spelling, because we have a U in colours. And that's the only change I made on this. That's done using all the called for threads. There are 2 colourways on the charts. There's a light and a dark, and I think that's the dark one. So yeah, so they're my new pieces that are going to get put into my rotation. So that's all my stitching. Next is my knitting and crochet. I will say I did try to film. I filmed this morning. I was meant to be going somewhere this morning and it got cancelled, and I just thought, oh right, I'll do my video. I won't do notes, I'll just do my video. And I came up and did it, and when I started watching it back to edit it, it was like, yeah, I'm not uploading that. It was so higgledy-piggledy. It was like, no, we need notes, we need structure, we need routine. So yeah, right, so knitting and crochet. So I'll start with my crochet. That was my, no, it wasn't my crochet, it was my knitting needle. Okay, right, so I've been crocheting my virus shawl, done a few more lines, and there we go. So it's now going into red. We've got 1 thread of red on it. That way. There's 1 thread of red coming through on the thread. So yeah, so that's my virus shawl. There we go. And then let's put that, I'll put that back up there, and I'll get my knitting. Come on. Whoops. Losing the yarn. It's gone down there. Right. So, knitting. I've shown this before. I'm knitting this little hooded sweater for my youngest grandson. It's Sirdar pattern 5489. And yeah, I'm doing it in the called for yarn, which is Sirdar Snuggly. And I've not done much. I said I need to do more, need to work on it more than just at knit and natter, because this is still the back, but as you can see I've done more. But yeah, need to do more because the back needs to be about another length, that length. I need to do at least another, around that length again. So yeah, so that's the back. I'll get the yarn after, it's just on the floor over there. Right, so that's my knitting and my crochet. Right, stash enhancement. Okay, the first one, sorry for the rustling. I've joined Fabrics by Crafty Kate's Fabric of the Month Club, and I got November's, which is like a pale lilac. Yeah, so I got 32 count linen. So yeah, happy with that. And I've ordered the December one, so I'll show that when that comes. So yeah, that's Fabrics by Crafty Kate fabric. And then when I went to Yorkshire Stitching Retreats Day on Saturday, which I'll talk about later, Julie gave me this chart. This is Jardin Privé, and it's ABC de la Brodeuse. I don't do much French. I do a bit of French, but that's me. Yeah, basically it's an ABC. You can get it in French, but this is the English version. Julie's actually stitching it, and it looked beautiful. So she's given me the chart. So yeah. So thank you, Julie. And then I ordered a couple of charts from Nimble Thimble. This one is called Winter Circle by the Cricket Collection. cross-eyed cricket. I love the little snowmen. And then I got this one, which is Spring by Cross-Eyed Cricket Collection. I have a couple of the seasons, and I know I've Spring. So, yeah. That's that. So they're from Nimble Thimble. And then, when I was at the Yorkshire Stitching Retreats Day on Saturday, pardon me, a lady called Jeannette gave me this as a gift. This is a little bag. Basically what you do, you put your yarn in the bag, put it on your arm, and then you knit in with the yarn in this bag so it's not rolling around the floor or anything. So thank you, Jeannette, for that. And then Jeannette had also brought a selection of bags and project bags and things, and I bought this big bag. It holds a large project, and I just thought it's handy if I've got a project, if I'm just taking one project, instead of taking my bag with different compartments, it's just one big bag with handles that I can take and put a project in. I also bought something else from Jeannette, but that's gone off as a gift for someone, so I can't show it. Right, so that's, oh, and then it's not exactly stash, but I've done a bit of self-promotion, shameless self-promotion. I got this badge which says YouTube Lancashire Stitcher on it. I wore it on Saturday when I went to Yorkshire Stitching Retreats Day, and I'll put a photo up of the car sticker that I got. That's now on our car. So when my husband drives the car around, and he's got Lancashire Stitcher on the back of it. But yeah, I got those from Zazzle. I'll put a link down below in case anybody else is interested in getting them. They do all sorts of promotional material, items. So yeah. So, right, let's talk about trips. Okay, so last weekend I went down to Slough. I went on the train. It was an interesting journey because we had Storm Dara here. It wasn't too bad here compared to other places, but the train I was supposed to be getting from Manchester to London was cancelled because something had hit the overhead lines higher up in Scotland or whatever. So they said you can get any other train as long as it's going the same way. So I went for an earlier train. My husband took me down to Bolton so I could just jump on a train to Manchester and then get that train. I got to Slough around 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Amy, Globetrotting Stitcher, was already there. So we sat and stitched for a while, and then Morty and the Brom came. They'd come over from Cornwall. They weren't sure if they were going to make it because of the storm, but yeah, they managed to get there. So we had a lovely, what we said was about 24 hours. We had an evening meal together, and then during the night on Saturday night, I was in my room and I thought it was an aeroplane going over about 3 o'clock in the morning because we were near Heathrow Airport. But it wasn't a plane, it was the wind trying to lift the roof off the pub. It was really windy, it was extremely bad. But yeah, it was okay. The pub was brilliant. It was built in the 1600s. I've got some pictures that I'll put in a slideshow at the end. Apparently Dick Turpin stayed there at some point. But yeah, my room, when you walked in the door and you walked towards the window, you were going downhill. So obviously you were going uphill when you went back towards the door. But yeah, it was a lovely pub, really nice pub. It was called the Ostrich Inn. And then the day after, we had a table where we sat and stitched for a few hours, and then we had Sunday roast. And then a bit later, Morty and the Brom took me to the station, and they went home, and I had the journey back home, which was uneventful until I got towards Bolton, and I looked at the trains to Darwin, and they cancelled them. It was going to be 9:20 at night when I got into Bolton, and every train after that until the last train at 11 o'clock was cancelled. and I thought, I don't really want to be sitting around Bolton Station and waiting for the last train that might not turn up. So I phoned my husband up and he came down to Bolton to pick me up. So yeah, it wasn't too bad a journey home. Euston Station in London is horrendous. Always has been, always will be. It's just, yeah, an awful place. But yeah, I did say to Amy that London is probably as alien to me as it is to her, because yeah, I don't go to London very often, and yeah, there was a time in my life that I could work my way around London easily, but that's quite a few years ago. So yeah. But yeah, it was a really nice weekend. Really enjoyed it. It was lovely meeting Amy again, and meeting Amy, Morty and the Brom for the first time. So yeah, if you don't already watch their channels, why not? Why are you not watching them? But yeah, so yeah, so that was slow. I had the day off on the Monday because I knew I'd be tired after such a busy weekend. So yeah, I got loads of stitching done. So yeah. And then on Saturday just gone, I went to the Yorkshire Stitching Retreats Christmas meal and Stitchy Day. That was another lovely day. Emma was there, Emma's Stitches on Flosstube. Lindsay didn't come to this one at Cheshire Stitcher. She had gone to the Cheshire Stitching Day, which was on Saturday as well. But there were lots of people there. It was just lovely to sit and chat. There was a wreath making session, but I didn't join in with that. I just wanted to stitch and finish my When Life Is Done, which I almost finished it there. I had to do a few rows up when I got back home, but yeah, got finished that day. So yeah, that was a lovely day. And the food, the meal we had, it was really nice. It was a really good meal. It was worth more than what we paid for it. So yeah, it was a really nice meal. I had the vegetarian option. I'm not a vegetarian, but it was turkey or the vegetarian option, and I just thought I'm going to be eating turkey at Christmas anyway, so let's just have something different. The vegetarian option was what was it? Mushroom and Stilton Wellington, and it was beautiful, big chunky mushrooms in it. So yeah, and then I didn't have Christmas pudding. I had Yorkshire tea loaf and cheese, and that was so good. You got 2 big pieces of cake, the tea loaf, and then a chunk of cheese which had cranberries in it, and that was so nice. But yeah, I was stuffed, and then I came home and we went out with my son that night for another meal. So yeah, Swimming World tomorrow night isn't going to be pretty. I put £0.5 on last week because yeah, it's coming up for Christmas. I'm still going to go to Swimming World because, yeah, if I don't go to Swimming World, I'll just go bananas and I'll put a stone on when I go back after Christmas. So I'm still going to go. I know I'm going to put on, but it's Christmas. I'm not cutting back for Christmas. So, yeah, there we go. So, yeah. And then a walk. I went on a walk yesterday. My friend from work and I decided we wanted to go on a walk. We only wanted to do a short walk because we both had things to do yesterday. So I found a 3-mile walk from the Halo in Haslingden. The Halo is another panopticon like the Singing Ringing Tree and the Atom, but this one's near Haslingden. But the weather was atrocious. It was the really heavy drizzle. It was misty. It was extremely windy. So yeah, we got soaked through, but we really enjoyed the walk. And I do have some photos. All the photos from Slough, Yorkshire Stitching Day, and my walk will be in a slideshow at the end. But yeah, there wasn't much to take a picture of because it was just wet and muddy and yeah. So yeah, but it was a nice walk. It's just, we know we're not going to get much chance to go on a walk over Christmas, so we just wanted to get one done yesterday. So yeah. So, right, what have I got next? Oh, I'm going to do a whip parade. I'm going to do it. I'm planning on doing it on Boxing Day and or the Friday. Boxing Day, day after Christmas Day, and the 27th, which is the Friday. So I'm going to do it over that time period. I'll have to do it in a few different bits, probably 3, because I've got 3 boxes. But yeah, I'll do my whip parade over then. And my next video is probably going to be on the 29th of December. And I know I'm working on the 28th on the Saturday. So it'll be probably on the 29th, maybe even the 30th, depending on what's going on that weekend. Right, so books that I've read or listened to over the last few weeks. And I do have a couple of notes for the books that I've read. I've only read finished reading 2 books, and then I've started reading another one. So the first one is Whispers Underground by Ben Aaronovitch. I did talk about this in my last video. I actually finished it. What happened was it said I had an hour left to listen to, and then because I borrowed it from the library on BorrowBox, it expired, so they returned it and somebody else had reserved it. So I had to reserve it again and then get it to listen to the last hour, which wasn't actually an hour. When I started listening to it, there was only like 15 minutes left, and then it did a preview of the next book, and it's like, okay. So it only took me 15 minutes to listen to the rest of the story, and then that was it, and I returned it. But yeah, that book is in the Rivers of London series. It was about the body of a son of a US senator being found dead on the underground tracks at Baker Street, and about how the FBI got involved and all that. Again, the Ben Aaronovitch books, vampires involved, river gods, all sorts of different things involved. But yeah, I do enjoy listening to them. And then I listened to A Room Full of Bones by Elly Griffiths, another one in the Ruth Galloway series. I do like listening to those too. This book was about a museum curator was found dead in the museum. It was about Aboriginal skulls that the Aborigines wanted returning to them. And it was also about drug smuggling. So yeah, I did enjoy that book. I think I gave that one 4 stars. I think I gave Whispers Underground 4 stars too on Goodreads. And then I've started listening to another LJ Ross book, but this is a different series than the Ryan series, the DCI Ryan series. This one is called Impostor, and it's an Alexander Gregory book. It's a series of books based on a character called Alexander Gregory, who's a forensic psychologist. And I've only listened to a couple of chapters, and it's pretty much as good as the Ryan books. So yeah, I think I'm going to enjoy these. But yeah, so I've started listening to that. I'll explain that more in my next video. But yeah, up to now, it's good. So yeah, when you've got a psychologist involved who likes delving in the minds of people who have dark mentalities, it's good. So yeah, so they're the books I've been reading or listening to. I do have a book to read for the reading group before the 8th of January, and I have got the audio version on Audible, and it's 20 hours long. So I'm going to have to start listening to that. But the Darts World Championships started last night. So between now and 2 days after New Year's Day, I'm going to be listening to a lot of audiobooks, because my husband will be watching the darts and I'll be listening to my audiobooks or some music depending on mood, etc., as well as doing my stitching. So yeah, so I think I'm going to get some reading done over Christmas, or listening to books anyway. So yeah, so I think I've done everything. Like I said, this morning it was just, and then when I was watching it was like, and I'd missed things out. Completely missed books out. So yeah. So yeah, I think that's everything this time. I've gone through everything on my list. Told you about my whip parade. I've said my next video should be on the 29th. So I think that's about it for now. So have a good Christmas if you celebrate it. Have a peaceful time if you don't celebrate it. But yeah, Take care of yourselves and those you love. Be kind always. Happy stitching. Bye for now.